Hey everyone, I'm Johanna, yoga and meditation teacher, Reiki master, sound healing practitioner, and sacred cacao facilitator. You're listening to the Vibrational Shift podcast, dedicated to people looking to reconnect with themselves. Together, we'll explore different energy healing modalities, meditations, breathwork, sound healing, and so much more. Are you ready to experience a vibrational shift with me? Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Vibrational Shift podcast. So today I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about release. When we are going through shifts in our life, or we need to find that shift, it often means that there is something that we are ready to release, something that is no longer serving us. And it being the day after the full moon, I wanted to share with you all a couple of my favorite full moon practices that you can come back and revisit at any time throughout the year as the full moon is upon you. I know that the full moon was yesterday, but this is something that you can do every month or as often as you need to. So I love the work of Yasmin Boland. She has a book called Moonology, and she has oracle cards and all kinds of different offerings. And during the full moon, one of the exercises that she talks a lot about is a full moon release. But whenever I do the full moon release, I follow her steps related to starting from a place of gratitude. So taking time to center myself, to really look at all of the different areas in my life that I'm grateful for. I take time to really just sit in that place of gratitude. But let me actually take a step back. For those of you that know me and those of you that do not know me, one of the things that I love to do is really about creating sacred space. I love rituals, right? And so for when you do this, I would encourage you to take the time to set your sacred space up first. For me, I'm actually sitting there right now. It is literally a small corner of my bedroom. And it does not have to be an entire room in your house, right? It can literally be a place that has special meaning to you. And so this particular corner of my room is where I have an altar. My altar has, crystals. It has where I've written intentions. It has Florida water. It has candles. It has where I burn my incense, my mala beads. It's like the home of my mala beads. And it's the place where I come and I sit and I meditate and I sit with myself. And so every day is not the same. So sometimes I might just come and sit down and pull a card. And, I have my little meditation cushion. So I set up my space. I take a look at the crystals that I have. I have a lot of crystals from my obsession with crystals over the last several years. So I look at the crystals and I pick out which one I would like to meditate with or which one I want to have near me as I pull my card, or if I'm going to sit down and do a mini cacao ceremony for myself, I pick out the crystals that I want. I set my space. I light my candles, light my incense. I do all of that, right? And so when I come and sit down for the full moon, this was a particularly busy couple of days, so I didn't get to do it yesterday, so I did it today. And I set up my space. I set up how I wanted my crystals arranged. I picked out the mala that I was going to be working with, and I took the time to really center myself. And then with 2 different Post-its, on one Post-it I wrote down things that I was grateful for, and I sat in that energy of gratitude. And then I reflected, what am I ready to release? What am I shedding? What am I moving through that maybe it's a mindset or it's a belief that I have that I'm ready to let go of. So I really take the time to sit with it and see what comes through, and then did my meditation. I sat with it even more during the meditation, and then I went back and I wrote a little bit more on both of those Post-its that I had. And then at the end, what I like to do is I grab a fireproof dish and I place salt in the bottom, and then I took my Post-its, I rolled them up and I lit them on fire and watched them burn, and opened up the window and watched the smoke as it left the room, to kind of signify like I'm grateful for all that is present in my life, and I am also releasing these things that are no longer a part of my existence moving forward. What I am really ready to release and allow the universe to transmute for me. Do I do this every month? Sometimes, but not all the times. And that's okay, because even if I don't sit down and make a full ritual out of it, I am moving through it. And that's why I love working with the phases of the moon, because I can look up at the sky and know that at whatever phase it's in, it can help guide me in the intentional life that I'm trying to live and create. And so when I think about why having the sacred space to me is so important as part of the ritual, is because I've taken the time to really think about my intentions and how I'm living an intentional life. And I write it down and I keep it on my altar as a reminder. So even though I may forget what that is from day to day, I always reset when I look at this altar and I sit in this space, because I know the intentional life that I'm trying to create. And life happens, and sometimes there are moments when we have to have a little bit of a reset, a recalibration, to really examine like the intention that I set forth. Am I living towards that intention? Am I really doing the actions that are necessary to bring this intention to life? Am I living this intention? So these are questions that I ask myself, all the time. But particularly when I sit down in my sacred space, I sit down and I'm looking at the altar and I'm reminding myself of my intentions. And when I'm doing a ritual, like, what am I asking myself? Am I ready to release? I have the visual reminder in front of me, literally. And then the fire element, for me, has been one of my favorite elements to work with, because it's as if seeing the visual of what I am releasing literally go up in flames is like a release for me. It's almost as if I can take a deeper breath and settle in, knowing like, you know what? I'm not holding that anymore. The universe can carry it. It's going to transmute that energy for me, and allow me to have a little bit more of a sense of freedom as I move towards my intentions. So with that being said, I just wanted to share with you all one of the ways that you can work with this during the phase of the full moon. With that being said, I know I do this sometimes throughout the month when things start to feel a little heavy or I feel like I need a reset. I also recently posted a video clip on Instagram of a fire. It's from a full moon puja that I got to do during the retreat I was on in February. And sometimes I'll just stare at the flame and energetically visualize the things that I am ready to release. And you can do that too. You can head over and find the video in my feed and see if that works for you as well, if you aren't able to light a fire for whatever reason in your sacred space. All right, so the sound meditation that I have for you all attached to this particular episode was recorded live, another one that I recorded live last month. And there are a variety of instruments that you'll hear played throughout. So I'm going to invite you to go ahead and get comfortable and set up your space. If you'd like to hit pause and maybe even do your own little ritual right now with writing down your intentions or writing down what you're grateful for and maybe even writing down what you'd like to release, you can do that now, or you can do it at the end of the sound meditation, at the end of this episode. So let's go ahead and transition. You can either find a comfortable seat or fully recline all the way onto your back, making sure you have all the props that you need to be comfortable. So maybe that looks like placing a pillow underneath of the knees, grabbing an eye cover to block out all the lights so that you can go within and settle in to receive. And I would encourage you to keep in mind that this practice is for you. So if at any time you find that you need to move, that you need to switch positions, you can. You have free will to do so. If you haven't already, allow the eyes to gently close here. Feel yourself completely supported by your props, by the ground beneath you. I invite you to bring your awareness into the body here. Relaxing and releasing any tension you might be holding on to in the face. So starting from the eyebrows and the third eye point, relaxing and releasing here. Relaxing and releasing through the jaw. Trace your awareness down the throat. Feeling the openness and the expansion across the chest and heart space here. Feel the softness through the solar plexus and the low belly. A gentle ease through the hips, the thighs, the shins, the calves, the ankles, and the feet. Notice the whole back body. Feel the whole front body here. Feel the entire body as one. We'll gently do a little bit of breathing together here to bring our heart and our minds into coherence. All you need to do is follow my voice. You'll release the breath and inhale for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And do this with your own count for the next couple of rounds on your own, finding the count that works best in your body. yourself to deepen the breath here. Gently breathing into the body. You can wiggle the toes, take small movements throughout the body. Maybe you take the hands together and begin to rub them until you feel a little bit of heat and energy begin to generate between the palms. And as you feel that heat, I invite you to bring your palms to your eyes, feeling the heat as it moves from the hands to the face. Taking the hands away from the eyes, rub the palms together again, this time placing the palms over the heart space. Taking a moment to check in, see how you feel now that you've released. How does it feel to breathe into the heart space, knowing that you've created space, releasing that energy that was no longer serving you out of the body and into the universe? And we'll close this practice with one breath. Take an inhale in and out through the mouth. Thank you so much for sharing this practice. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Vibrational Shift. As always, please be sure to like and subscribe if you are not already, so that way you can get notifications each time a new episode drops. I have something really fun planned for the next season. Different practitioners are going to be joining, and I cannot wait to share those conversations with you guys. So definitely make sure that you're following. If you're not already, you can also head over to lunaserenity.com, sign up to become a member of the email list. That way you can know when new workshops are coming, both virtually and in person. I have a couple of different retreats slated for this year, so you definitely don't want to miss out. The first one coming up is in July. It's actually in West Virginia at a beautiful location, so you can get more details at the website. It is the Sacred Self-Love Retreat, and I cannot wait to be in circle and in community with all of you. And then there's another retreat also happening, same location, but it's a weekend retreat, a much shorter one, and that one is a fan favorite, I'd say. It's called the Luna Goddess Retreat. So again, if you're interested, more details on there. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.